Well, we're ready for the second half play here from Pike High School. The Marian College home opener. Ron, let's take a look at a few stats here in that first half.
Well, I was most surprised with the onside kick.
Yeah. And the Marian Giants pull an onside kick. Did they pull it off? No indication yet. Just as you're ready to read a few stats, the answer to that is no. So the Bearcats will get great field position, but what a call.
In big games, it takes big plays. And as you watch this replay, it's the perfect bounce. It's right there. Marian College, they got the football. But with a greased pig right now, remember, we've had a lot of rain here during halftime, and that ball's going to get a little slippery, especially the longer it's on the ground. Then you get the slipperiness. This field right here at Pike is going to take about 13 inches per hour of rain. So rain's not going to impact it getting too sloppy out there at all. But it will make it slippery if the football stays on the ground too much.
Handoff goes to Roman again, and he dives forward for a good 4 yards. Here you see Roman.
Just a straight-up dive play. Again, they're going back to what got them part of those 23 points. Tackle-to-tackle football out of the wing tee look. The most surprising stat of the half, I was shocked with this. Time of possession. I did not think that Marian College would win time of possession in that first hand, but yet they did. 15 to 14 minutes. They had the ball more than a minute longer. Just couldn't produce.
Roman again on the carry, and that should be enough for a Bearcat first down. He gets it down to the 36-yard line, and that's enough for a McKendree Bearcat first down. There you see the umbrellas that have popped out, and if you look at the radar, boy, we're going to fight and hopefully keep the massive storm away, but right now we're just getting a lot of rain.
The encouraging part about the umbrella cam is that the umbrellas are there. You didn't see a bunch of empty stands sitting there.
Loyal Marian fans. And off again to Roman, and this time he finds no running room as a good defensive play by Marian, and one of the tacklers out there was Rob Hornet again.
Yeah, when you get that kind of penetration, Peter Brutzman gets up in there, a linebacker, and it looked like he was almost on a blitz. There you see Todd Fennell. Had Todd Fennell was a defensive back of mine when I coached at Ball State. I feel like he was like this incredibly old man all of a sudden.
You have either coached or coached everybody.
I think so.
Second man through again is George Smith, and he'll find all kinds of running room this time around the left side and driven out of bounds at about the 26-yard line. Take a look.
And again, that's just a dive play that ends up being more of a bounce play. Once they get to level 2, they kick everybody down. He's able to bounce to the outside of the field. Great gainer. Doesn't get you the first, but it gets you close.
Adam Brewer from Linton, Indiana, number 7, drove him out of bounds. Now that'll bring up third and about 2. One wide receiver to the right. 3 running backs. Handoff goes to Roman, and he's hit hard again by that Marian front line. And once again, Rob Hornet barrels through one of the tacklers there.
Between Hornet and Chris White, they are pinching so hard. Now, second effort didn't even get the first down there. It's going to be within a yard, though. Chris White and Hornet are playing so well as down men. They're using their quickness, their separation technique, getting the long arms out, punching off the big guys to get down on the football.
I've been incredibly impressed by the ability of this front line of Marian to kick it into another gear. And the first down is good by the Bearcats, so they'll keep this drive alive.
And what keeps that alive, Jan, is a front stunt where the Marian line, they had Chris White bumping from a 3 technique tackle out to a 5. All he does is start from inside, loops to the outside, and actually takes himself out of the play by doing that. It's great if they end up off tackle with it because you plug it up. If they end up in the A gap, you're in a lot of trouble.
Jacob Roman, 5'10", 220-pound running back. Boy, Roman and Smith, 2 very good running backs. Handoff goes to Smith again around the left side. And right now, Ron, they are finding some major room on that left side.
Well, actually what they're trying to do now is to use the Marian College speed and quickness against them. With Chris White, and you'll see Chris White come down inside, the defensive end up at the top of the screen, the blue number 91. He comes down inside, really gets buried hard inside. Thinking again, power play, so you try and slant your outside linebackers down to the inside of the field. If you do that in the power play, it's a great call. If it's a sweep, you're out of position.
Boy, White had good penetration that time, but just wasn't able to get to the ball. And a big hit immediately behind the line, and a good gang tackle that time by the Marian Knights.
Again, it's that first hit with Hornet, number 55. He's able to, again, to get through the gap, apply the first hit to slow the play down so the quickness can come in.
How about Sam Flynn coming up and putting a stick? Number 41 from his linebacker position. Third down now for the Bearcats. Pitch out, goes to the tailback, and good pursuit again by the defense.
Again, you're going to be able to see this play gets strung to the sideline. Number 48, you'll see bumping in there, trying to get it moved out, Zach Marshall, just to allow pursuit to come over the top. And again, we get down in there inside the 20-yard line in the red zone. McKendree forced to attempt another field goal.
Well, the Marian Knight defense has bent a little bit today, but boy, when you've got the field goal kicker that the Bearcats have, they typically have came away with some points, but the snap, the kick is up, and it's long enough, and it's no good. So the Knights defense does a nice job, and this time with no points given up.
Again, you take that chance at the beginning of the half with the onside kick. McKendree answers, we're taking it down the field. And there's say Todd Fennell again, talking a little bit of defensive back technique and how to string things to the sideline. Boy, he's a good-looking kid, isn't he? He's got to be like 35 years old. He looks like he's 12 with a mustache.
Well, you know, they get away with not recovering that onside kick. They give the Bearcats great field position, but their defense does a great job, and it ends up not hurting them even though they didn't get the ball.
Jan, exactly right. When you believe in your defense, you can take shots like that, take those chances, and still come smelling really, really like a rose.
High formation, handoff. Stubbs is going absolutely nowhere as he was met immediately as he took the ball.
Now, young William, that works at Cathedral, and it worked in high school. But when you got lots of guys that can run on a football field, watch this. Willie Stubbs gets this, breaks it to the outside on a bounce-type play, but it's sealed so well from the outside, you cannot run away from that.
Yeah, that time you basically decide, I'm not going anywhere, lay down and call it quits.
Yeah, that's difficult, though, because you lose 7 yards on the play.
Jones wants to pass. He's got pressure, rolls to his right. Now he'll have to roll. He breaks a tackle and finds a little running room as he takes it up about 7 yards on the scramble. That's Jones.
Eldrin Jones dinking around back there, trying to find the right spot. And here we go again. You'll see Eldrin with a good fake to Willie. Steps up in the pocket, doesn't see it, gets the scramble. Linemen take care of business. And after the hit probably took, hey, when you weigh about 150, you get hit forward like that, you'll fly 5 yards. That's a good deal.
Jones will play shotgun again, standing on about his own 17. He'll send 3 wide receivers left, and he is sacked. Pressure from everywhere this time, and the Bearcats bring him down.
Got to know when to hold him and know when to fold him. I tell you, when you're in that situation as a quarterback, and you feel that pressure coming off your backside, you'll see this replay. Watch Eldrin get this football. He steps up in the pocket, and there is pressure from back, side, middle. But he got his 4 counts to throw the football. He just got to be a better decision maker, throw the football within that 4 to 5 second realm.
Antonio Prendergast putting all kinds of pressure from his defensive right tackle.
Is that Teddy's boy?
It might be. Oh. And the punt from the 7, and roughing the kicker is going to be called.
Well, if it's only a run-in,
yeah, I think
we
it's going
got
to be a run-in.
The velocity of that bump that he got right there.
I would suspect it's a run-in. Let's wait and see what the call is.
Here we'll see the replay. Good look at him. Little high snap.
Oh, they're calling the big one.
Boy, that's a great technique, but he lands with his foot. Oh, my. You know, that might be a questionable call, but we're going to take it.
Hey, you take them, you lose some, you get some.
Yeah.
So you're happy when it's your turn to get a few.
And the offense goes back on the field with a first down, ready to move the football.
When it's your first home opener, you deserve a break every now and then.
You'll take that break. You'll take the next break. You take the next break. Bring them on.
8:22 left here in the third quarter of play. 23-7 our score. The Marian College home opener here from Pike High School. Jan Bozier calls, and the whole hometown production crew on the SkyTrack Weather Network. Jones from the shotgun again, hands off. And the dive goes forward for about 3 yards on the play. That'll bring up a second down and about 6.
You know, again, Jan, just ball control football. They don't have to break it deep here. The score, it's not like it's 58-0. We're at 23-7 with about 7:50 to go in the ball game in the third quarter. There's all kinds of time. Take your time, mount the drive that you want.
Jones takes the snap, and he gets clobbered. And I mean, he took a shot. Big number 4, Emmanuel McCall, just leveled him.
Jan, you know, there's times when you appreciate a young quarterback. He's got great feet. But as you'll see here on the replay, being a decision maker, he's going to get the football. Full blitz coming up the middle. It's a flush. Right now, get rid of the football. You can ill afford to continue to take 7 to 10 yard losses. When you feel that blitz coming up the middle, you may have to get rid of the football.
And we're going to get a flag. Not sure what happened. Flags flew everywhere.
Well, watch the I don't know if we're going to get a good look here at this one or not. It's kind of tough angle when you're anytime that you're getting a snap that probably comes off somebody's foot. Watch this. It just comes out of the hand, bounces off the foot.
Just slipped out of the center's hands.
And again, when you on a humid day like this, when your hand starts sweating, there's the official allowing him to use the towel. Hey, that's one play too late using the towel, by the way. And it's a pink towel. You don't use a pink towel in football. Somebody go out there and change towels. I got to have a blue one or a gold one, not a pink one. But that just bounced out. He just lost the handle on it. And in shotgun snap, that happens more times than you think.
3rd and 19 now for Jones. He wants to pass again. He avoids the pressure, steps up, and he's going to go down again. Boy, the Bearcat pressure has turned into savage beast.
It is. There's great coverage down the field, Jan. Right now, McKendree, you'll see that we got a nice tight shot of Eldrin again. And Eldrin's just taking his time stepping up in the pocket, but you got to throw the football. It's either open or it isn't, and you got to take advantage of the rule to get rid of the football and throw it away rather than continue taking those sacks.
Well, that's forced Marian to punt the ball. They'll be standing on about their 12-yard line. Low snap. It's a very high punt. They're going to let it bounce. A wrong way bounce finally down at about the 39-yard line, and that's where we'll step away, come back where the Bearcats will take over offensively. But first, the SkyTrack Weather Network timeout. Well, the Bearcats will take over in their own territory. Lautenschlager hands off, broken tackle. And Roman barrels forward, clear down to the 945-yard line.
And that's been pretty much the flavor of the day. Roman straight ahead, hard running, legs up high, churning. Roman hits this hole. You'll be able to see his legs. It's on first contact. Watch his legs can just continue to drive. It's a great drill that coaches teach over and over and over on that first contact. All else fails, you keep your legs moving.
That'll bring up a first down again off the big run. Hand up off the middle to Roman, and he's barreled down at about the 40-yard line. Tacklers that time. We're on that right side.
I tell you, McKendree's got to start to ask themselves, how in the world is Hornet getting to first level so quickly and getting first hit behind the line of scrimmage 50% of the time? Between he and White, they are getting first hits behind the line of scrimmage more times than not. It's the ability to finish that first hit that Marian's struggling with right now.
Hand off this time to the second man through and goes to the right side. Good gang tackling on this left side by the Marian Knights. And that's going to be marked at about the 37-yard line. Antonio Davison, one of the tacklers for the Knights.
Antonio Davison in on the stop.
It's going to bring up a third and short for McKendree Bearcats.
3rd and 2 from the 37.
Third down. 2 to go for a first down. 4:21 left on this third quarter's clock. Loudenslager hands off to Roman up the middle, and he dives forward. Plenty for a first down to keep this drive alive.
It's just the rhythm of the wing T offense. Dive, dive, buck, dive, dive, dive. You find a horse, you saddle him up, and you're riding the distance when you need to. When you're up 23-7, there's absolutely no reason to do anything crazy. Just ride that stallion.
Boy, the Bearcats continue to use Smith and Roman. Difficult to key on any one running back because both are very good runners.
And they run so hard. It's not just the quickness, it's the strength of their run as well behind that big offensive line.
Handoff goes to Roman again off left guard. Mark it forward for a 2-yard gain. 2nd, 8 now. Boy, this wing T, the thing I've noticed, especially in today's game, and Center Grove running, some other teams running, it can just almost defensively put you to sleep.
It does, and when I was talking earlier, you know, we've talked so many times in coaching about the wing T just rocking you to sleep.
Yeah.
And it's not a fast go to sleep, punch you in the head, knock you out. They just rock you to sleep. It's like watching some boring movie where your wife just says, honey, watch this with me. So you sit there and you watch it and you fall asleep and you wake up later and tell her how good it is.
Man in motion goes back left. Hand off to the second man through. He breaks a tackle and breaks another tackle. And finally, Rich, with all kinds of running room, is pushed out of bounds at the 11-yard line. And, you know, I talked about 2 good runners. How about 3 good runners in Rich?
Wow. Watch this replay. Being able to get outside, use your quickness, and for the first time after he gets to level 2 or 3, getting to the outside, it becomes a foot race. Mike Keltz is able to run him down. Again, another Avon kid. A lot of local guys playing this ball game today.
Tom Roush, Lincoln Mercury, one of our fine sponsors here on Hometown Television. Thank them for the third quarter as Roman dives forward.
Roman again. Straight up the middle, nothing fancy, just hard-nosed, tackle-to-tackle, wing T football.
You know, they go Roman, Smith, and then they throw in that speed with Rich outside.
Yeah, it's just that little flavor, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. 2nd down as this continues to be an impressive drive by the Bearcats. Hand off, Roman, right up the middle. He dives forward. Not much running room. They'll mark it at about the 5. 2:13 left in this third quarter play.
These have been long possessions by these two teams in the third quarter. This is only the third possession that we've had. McKendree, remember, gets it on the onside, takes it down the field, misses the field goal. Marian gets the football, takes it, punts it. We're just now in the third drive of the third quarter.
You know, your defense becomes awful good when your offense can be this dominating.
Oh, absolutely. And a defense gets so tired of being in their stance right now. They've been on the field a lot today.
Second man through is George Smith. He didn't quite get in. They'll mark it just shy of the goal line.
Which, insult to injury, that becomes a first down, I think. Now it's going to be first and goal from the one-ish.
You just hate it when those markers leave enough room there.
Yeah.
Now with 1:21.
Oh, actually, it's fourth. They stopped it.
They did stop it. I didn't think that didn't appear to be where they were going to mark the ball at first, and now it'll be fourth and maybe a foot.
No, but we'll take that one too. I mean, usually in this situation, the chains come out, you get a nice mark. Hey, we'll take this. It's short.
4th and 1. Hand off right up the middle and give him just about a yard. Let's see where they spot the football. Now I think where they're going to spot it looks like plenty for a first down because it's just going to be maybe a millimeter from the goal line.
Yeah. The first hit actually stops it. Watch this first hit. On first hit, it's not going to be anything. Right there. Stop. But watch the spin move. The spin move gets the first down. Again, the initial hits that they're getting are great.
And this time the Bearcats get it in for another score.
C.J. Johnson. So now another running back enters the mix.
And they have some fine ones at that.
Again, second man through is C.J. Third man over the top. Looks like an option. They don't need the third man. C.J. takes care of business with a touchdown.
Eric Jackson took a nice shot at him, tried to dive from his linebacker position, but just way too close to be able to keep him out. The Bearcats will set for the point after. The snap, the placement, the kick is up, and it is good. So 30 for the Bearcats, 7 for the Knights, and we'll step away and be back. But first, this time out. We'd like to thank Riverview Hospital, our diamond sponsor of tonight's ball game. Riverview Hospital is a 5-star cardiac care hospital, and the beauty of it, you own it. Find out more about Riverview Hospital at www.riverview.org.
Man, I love Riverview.
I do too.
They do a golf outing during the summer for coaches in the area, and they put on one of the best shows with that golf tournament. It's awesome. They've got great speakers that come, enlighten us a little bit. What a great organization right there in Noblesville.
What a great facility that they've created there. Absolutely gorgeous and fine, fine people at Riverview Hospital. The kick taken now on the 6-yard line as the Marian Knights will try to find as much room as they can, but a great special teams coverage that time by the McKendree Bearcats.
And part of that is it's very difficult to block someone who's running full speed with their eyes wide open, who looks a little bit left to center, and you don't know if you want to throw your body in front or not. They had 5 heat-seeking missiles coming down there, and somebody was going to make the play.
All right, 30-7. Marian Knights now obviously down a few points here. What do you tell your kids offensively, Ron?
You know what? I tell them that we're okay, that we're going to take the football down the field, we're going to do what we want to do, and we're going to mount a drive. Keep it within your own system.
Jones hands off, and a broken tackle. Up the field they go as Scott, the ball carrier from West Palm Beach, Florida, does a nice job, gets a great run, and that's enough for another first down.
Again, being able to mount those drives. Here's the replay. Just a nice little buck play. Good trap up in the inside, and Scott getting off for a nice first down.
1st and 10. Knights showing pass. They got their man, but threw it behind him just a little bit. The ball will fall incomplete.
And again, it's that Jones to Scott connection that they're trying to make there, but the ball's just too strong out of bounds. You know, Eldrin looks really nice getting out of the pocket. His form looks good. Today, he's just not connecting on those passes. The routes are open. Jones just right now can't make the connection. And when you're trying that on 1st and 10 with an offense who has not had great success, 2nd and 10 doesn't look very appetizing.
And off to the second man through, and after a gain of a couple, Scott was buried.
Manuel McCollin on the stop.
Gain of a couple on the play for the Marian Knights. We talked about their schedule coming up, and it is a dandy, that's for sure.
That's the end of the third quarter.
And the third quarter is now history in this home opener for Marian College. Our score, Marian 30 and the Bearcats 7. We'll be back for the fourth and final period, but first, this hometown television timeout. Well, we start the fourth period of play. I want to certainly thank Super Targets and Fishers as the pass is complete out in the flats. Broken tackle and up to the 39-yard line after the completion. Good play for the Knights.
Just a little slip screen to the outside. Honestly, to be able to throw a defense off kilter, some of those line of scrimmage passes are just the recipe that you're looking for. You want to be able to get the ball out, get on the perimeter, stretch the defense a little bit. Because right now they're backed off, they're parking, they're not wanting anything deep. No DBs are rolled up, there's no press coverage. Everything's off and soft.
And Scott is hit immediately as he takes the ball. Hey, Super Target and Fisher sponsors our fourth quarter scorebook. Target gives millions of dollars back to the communities it serves. Check out the career opportunities at your Fisher's Super Target.
Just don't put a target on your back if you happen to be a running back in this game, because they'll find you.
Marian needs a drive in the score here.
They really do.
They really do. They've been playing a lot of defense here in the second half, and they could really use a score here. Man in motion now. Jones drops back. Little screen pass. Doesn't develop. He'll have to reverse the other way. He'll get what he can, then runs out of bounds. He'll get a couple, maybe three on the play. Looked like they wanted to get a screen pass set up on that left side.
But it was totally closed down. McKendree were able to see that early, put a little spy guy on him. See a great look of a coach with Eldrin, a young quarterback with the feet from Florida. Really wanting to get him unhitched here. Be able to get his timing with the passes and receivers back.
That'll bring third down to the Knights. Ball marked at the 43. Jones out of the shotgun, looks, gets it out in the flats, and it's dropped. Just ran before he caught it, looked like to me, Ron.
Well, it's that same slip screen out on the outside where you're trying to throw it to the number one receiver wide, have the number two kick out the widest corner that you find. And the play was fine. There's only one missing element. Here's the replay. You see Scott get rid of it. It's a nice ball out there. There's only one problem with the play. You got to catch the football first. Everything was perfect. Great call. Perfect spot. Got to catch the football.
Unfortunately for Marian, they'll have to kick it away again, or do they? Last time they were in about this same position early in the first half. They had what looked like a fake and just couldn't hang with it. And this time, this is a low snap. He's going to get the punt off. Not going to be very good. But he did a pretty good job of getting something out of a very bad snap.
Oh, my, but it came across the field pretty strong. It may have just got back to the 50-yard line. You'll see, again, a very poor snap that rolls back. Nothing worse for a punter. His knee's almost down. He's able to at least keep the ball in front of him. Much like a baseball player, as long as you can keep it in front of you, you at least got a shot at it. But then the angle on that kick makes it very difficult to have success.
Yeah, you're right. He fielded that thing about like a shortstop because that had even more yardage written all over, and he does a decent job of getting what he can out of it. Boy, now another runner. Ellington comes into the ball game for the Bearcats, and he just gets an easy 10 yards.
Wow. Running like a Sherman tank. Sherman. Ellington.
Now, defensively, Ron, down as many points as the Knights are, do you maybe pick up the blitz a little more? Or can you?
I don't know if you really can afford to, because if you do that and they split, you see Sherman there on a nice, strong run. The reference to the Sherman tank does work, by the way. He does run hard, but if you blitz and you blow by it, they split you, and it's a quick 6. And that's what the wing team wants you to do. They want you to bring everybody up to the line of scrimmage. But sometimes being able to react with your speed is much better than trying to get guys to the line of scrimmage.
Rich has plenty for the first down on that right side.
And again, just trying to sprint to the outside, some nice cut blocks, or at least attempts at cut blocks.
Rich really has a nice center of gravity, really reading as he runs the ball for the Bearcats.
We've talked so much this summer with our kids about their hips and being able to open your hips. As all great athletes, well, I don't care if it's golf, baseball, basketball, you got to be able to open your hips. That kid's got great hips.
Hand off. Right up the middle. Boy, this is the point in the game. And it's obviously with all the rain, and even before the rain, the humidity very, very strong. Your legs and all those things, it's a long game. It's tough defensively when you've had to play against a very, very strong offensive line.
So many snaps of the football today with the defense. And again, you're right. Out there with rain conditions, with tackle-to-tackle football, does make it difficult.
Finally pushed out of bounds. Let's see where they mark it, as it was initially tossed and fumbled.
One of the very few miscues I think that McKendree has had today there with George Smith. You see George Smith, a little confusion there between quarterback and running back, whether or not we were going to be able to get a pitch, a toss, a handoff. Little confusion, ends up on the ground. Marian kind of likes that, gives him a 3rd and 5.
You know, Ron, this Bearcat ball club has not made very many mistakes today.
Well, championship teams like this rarely do.
The fake. Slogger runs to the right. Looks. Will he run? And finally brought down on a nice play out there by Kelts. Kelts, a 6', 185 defensive back from the Avon community.
You know, he must have made 1 or 2 trips over to Avon recruiting, you think?
I'm thinking he did.
Oh,
and a nice choice, I might add. Avon, as you mentioned earlier, has had some fine ball clubs.
Brett Doherty in the punt.
That'll bring up a 4th down for the Bearcats. Hey, and once again, this Knight defense has held defensively.
And the choice here to punt rather than the field goal. Interesting. Again, respect rather than to kick the field goal or make the attempt to try and get him and bury him down deep enough with a pooch kick. It's popped up there high enough.
Very nice kick. You just couldn't have absolutely put it any better place. It was that outstanding or what?
That is so well coached. Not just the punt itself, but the way it's executed. They were able to have 2 men deep, and they do it exactly the way it's supposed to be done. One guy's recovering, and one guy goes behind him in case, for whatever reason, there's a mistake, there's an error, there's a muff. The second guy can still down the football. Very well executed.
This Bearcat ball club is not real flashy. There you see the fair catch called for.
See, look at the 2 men deep. Look how well coached that is. They're going back to play the ball to make sure the first guy gets it and the second guy can ensure it.
All sides on Marian. I started to say, you know, this is a Bearcat ball club that they have good solid runners. You don't see anything real flashy. They don't throw long balls. They just absolutely do the fundamentals very, very well. And the thing also they did today is taking advantage of the night mistakes.
You know, the type of team this reminds me of, talking about McKendree, is like a Bud Wright team here in Indiana. It just does the same thing week after week, day after. It's nothing flashy. Bud Wright's not a flashy dresser.
And 40 years, I might add.
For 40 years.
Not just day after day, after day for 40 years.
Yeah, Bud is not Mr. Flash. But I'll tell you what, that consistency, the way in which guys are well coached, it comes through in the end. And McKendree is exactly that.
And the Knights will get it there as well. Their home opener, only their 2nd competitive game here in this season.
Well, and I know exactly how difficult it is to try and put a program together. You know, I've been able to coach at the college level, been blessed to be at the high school level and to start a high school program. And to know all of the pieces and parts, the moving parts that Karras is trying to put together right now. It's a daunting task, but he's getting the right pieces in place. He's got the right coaching staff. I know a lot of those coaches down there, and I know how well they can coach and how much they know the game of football and how well they recruit. They're going to get the right kids here, which I think they've got the right kids on the field.
And I think Jones may, and he has been got caught in the end zone for a safety. Boy, that's a tough play. Not much room to work there, and I'm not so sure it was a quality snap, and Jones had really nothing he could do.
Here's a replay. You'll be able to see it. It's just straight over the top and through the guys. I'm not going to say he doesn't get touched because he knows where he wants to get to. And when number 99 decides he's going somewhere, he's going. Kevin Lambert plays like Jack Lambert when he's coming down the middle of the field when he wants the football.
You got a name like Lambert, you better be making some serious plays.
But how many teeth do you need if you're Jack Lambert?
Not very many if you play like that.
No.
32 now for the Bearcats, 7 for Marian.
So you take a look at number 99, Lambert. Splits that gap. Two guys. One tries to, Willie Stubbs tries to cut him. Willie's a great blocker, and he just steps over Willie and gets right to Jones for the safety.
The Marian Knights will be back home September 22nd, right back here at Pike High School to take on Valparaiso in their next game.
You know, when I look at that roster, though, it's freshmen, 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 freshmen. They're playing against the freshman team or what most schools would say that, well, this is our JV or this is our freshman team. No, these guys are here for 4 years. And let me tell you something. McKendree's going to be on the schedule again. These kids will remember it a few years from now. They'll remember this day. And not that there's going to be revenge because it's a learning situation for them. But they will definitely improve from being able to play this game today.
And a lot of redshirt freshmen. So the time these young men are juniors and seniors, they're going to have some good older players. And age is so important in college. The maturity level.
Well, the difference from being a high school senior to a freshman. I can't imagine then freshmen becoming seniors 4 or 5 years later. The maturity level just in life.
Oh, no
just
question about it.
Decisions that you make, how you want to take care of your body. There's a lot of kids down there that are making great decisions right now. You know, Chris Neat and some of those kids. I know a few of them, and they're making better decisions in life already. And I think sometimes they'll go into a school like Marian does that for you. It allows you to make better decisions in life. You know, they talk about the prayer that they do. It's a community that they're building here, and it's the right community for parents to want to send their kids to.
The Bearcats start this drive now on about the 32. Handoff straight up the middle. Lots of running room this time. Dives forward to about the 41-yard line.
Sam Flynn and Chris Daly in on the stop for the night.
Boy, you know, you talk about this Marian Knights schedule, too. You know, they didn't just put a bunch of cupcake teams on this, you know, at the cost of probably not a lot of wins, but you're building for the future and doing it right.
Well, there's a part of that, though, that's exciting for the players that are coming in here. When you look at that schedule and you see McKendree, Malone, St. Francis, Ohio Dominion, St. X, Walsh, Urbana, you're seeing 5 or 7 of the top 20 teams in the country on that schedule. That's a tough schedule, but I'll tell you something. There are kids that will want to come to school here because they get to play the best. Kids from Warren Central, as you're watching the replay there, kids from Warren Central, Avon, Roncalli, Plainfield, Ritter, those kids are used to playing against the best. Even let's say Dante Crook, kid from Arsenal Tech that came here. Dante Crook got a chance to be in the All-Star game. One of the first kids in the All-Star game from Tech in a long, long, long time. And Dante's able to play here at Marian and be able to see what the big picture of the future is. So these players will want to come here getting to play against the best of the best.
George Smith again around the left side, and now the Bearcats continue to get big chunks of yardage down to the night 39-yard line with 9:12 left on the game clock.
Man, George Smith is playing this like a piano, I tell you. Now, George Smith, piano. Do you remember now watch this replay on George Smith getting to the outside. Wasn't there a George Smith like music thing here in Hamilton County? There was a guy who played the piano. He owned a piano company. Okay, see, all you old timers are going to go home and research that. I guarantee it. Okay, maybe it was Madison County. Maybe I'm off by like 4 miles.
A few counties.
Yeah.
Handoff, second man through. And a nice stop that time by the defense. And one of the tacklers out there was Lyle Lawson.
McBride's the ball carrier.
Lawson, another Ron Colley boy.
Shane McBride coming up on the right.
Peter Brunsman in on the stop.
Look at McBride. Just reads that block, kicks it to the outside. And again, look at the number of shirts, though, that are still getting to the ball. You see that Navy getting out there a whole bunch. 5, 7 helmets at a time.
You know, we talked about the college difference, and this time, Dive, you coach college. It is a huge step for high school people. It really is. The commitment alone is huge. Then you add the studies and the different life, and there is a huge commitment when it comes to football. Talk a little bit about that. What does it mean when a young man comes and plays college football?
Well, you know, I just heard from one of the players that went to one of the schools. Actually, I won't even get into it, but one of the schools that's on Marian's schedule. And he gets there, and during just the first 3 days, it was so incredibly overwhelming. And this kid eats, breathes, and sleeps football, and called and said, you know what, I think it's too much. I don't know if I'm cut out for this. And here's a kid who's wanted to do this his entire life, and now he's in that setting. He's got a question, I don't know if I can even do this now. That's the intensity level of the college game now. High school players are used to that, the three a days maybe, or 2 a days. That has absolutely nothing to do with college football, because you wake up, you go eat breakfast, and then you just keep going the entire day. And again, here's the replay, straight up in the line, and boom. Not quite a slobber knocker, but it might qualify. We're getting there, right?
Well, but I will tell you, I can remember playing at Anderson when I played there, and they were building the program and took it to the 4th year when we were playing for something special to get into the national championship. You talk about the work, but the reward can be awful special and a lot of fun, too.
You know, if you're willing to keep that focus within you of what that prize is at the end, and, you know, again, at Heritage Christian, where I've been able to, I'm blessed to be able to be there, to start a program and see down the road, guys, 3 years, 4 years, you're going to reap the benefits if you're willing to put the effort into it. And with our program, guys have been willing to put the effort in, just like the guys at Marian. But I really commend, first of all, just Coach Karras for the staff that he's put together with Ben Cullen, Mathis, David Clark, Rodney Deckard, Todd Fennell. These guys have coached before, and so he's picking up guys that aren't just rookie coaches. They've been out there before, and they're great recruiting guys. The men that he has on his staff right now are so relational that the players are going to play hard just like they did today. They're going to continue to play hard throughout the season.
Ellington finds a seam and finds major running room up the middle again. Here's another runner. Ellington, straighten your TV.
Wow. That's kind of jazzy, Ellington. Jazzy, Ellington. See, I'm throwing like left and right here.
All right, with 6:18 left in this ball game, 32-7 back after this timeout. Jam Bozier's Ron Qualls here at Pike High School in the very, very first home opener football game for the Marian Knights. You know, there'll be a lot of other home openers, but there'll never be a first again, Ron. Been fun to be a part of it.
Well, and for these young men to be able to do that.
Touchdown, Bearcats.
Just for these young men to be able to be a part of the inaugural game. Just the opening game, the first game last week ever, the first home game this week. And there he is, just turning the corner, knows where that pylon is, trying to keep the football inside enough to get the touchdown. The official sees him sneaking in there.
Now the rain has had some of the fans here go home, but boy, what a crowd we started out with here today. Tailgating, a lot of fun. Glad we could be a part of it here from Hometown Television. I want to thank all the crew, and boy, I'll tell you, they've had to battle some elements today to provide you this fine, fine football game. The extra point is up, and it is good. So with 5:54 left on the game clock, we'll step away and be back after this timeout. Back here at Pike High School in the home opener for Marian Knights. And there you see the special team players today for Marian.
Such an integral part of an entire football operations, those special teams. People don't, I think so many times are overlooked, whether it's the snapper, the holder, the kicker. I've seen too many games, and I've been a part of a game the last few weeks where the kicking game can be your best friend and it can be your worst nightmare.
And of all the things you have to put in 18 months to get to the special teams is a tough chore. It's tough when you're coaching a veteran team to put the time into special teams that it needs.
Exactly, and to find out who is your snapper, who's that kicker going to be, who's your best kicker.
That one was kicked out of the end zone, so Marian will take over 1st and 10 on their own 20. And 5:54, and although we've had some rain, we've certainly stayed away from the real nasty stuff.
You know, with turf like this in a facility, this type of weather, this type of rain will not impact a game at all. I've been on turf now this is our 3rd season on turf. I have not been able to see any effects of any weather situations on our turf at all. We just go out and play. The kids played this morning. They had a soccer game. We had a little flag program. Same thing is going to happen here. If they can establish a program where they're going to be able to come out and have guaranteed turf every time they play, definitely helps your program.
And not much running room on that right side. And you know, the thing I love about turf is, as you talked about, is it doesn't, especially in the high school level, it doesn't force some of the other people who use the field with no time on it, the bands and the different things. When it's mud, they don't get any practice time at all. So not only does it help the football team, but it assists everybody that gets to use the field.
You can have our homecoming coming up here soon. We're going to have a triple header, actually. Volleyball inside. We've got a game of soccer that starts at 5. Football starts at 7:30. And so everybody gets a part of the action. And great proof right here with Marian. Even though with the inclement weather that we've had, you're not seeing mudslide and guys slipping and falling around.
It's just a win-win for everybody. Here come the Knights again. 5:25 left on the game clock. And the pass over the middle is intended out there for number 35, Jamie Bays. Incomplete. Jamie Bays from Brazil, Indiana, over at Northview High School.
Clay Coomer coming in there at quarterback for that series. Again, it's so difficult to come in towards the end of a game as a quarterback and be able to get any rhythm or sense of speed of the game, especially when you're playing against the type of speed that McKendree brings to the table.
Of course, Clay Coomer from Springsboro, Ohio. Knights forced to punt. They'll do so from about their own 7. High punt. Taken at about the 46. 1 man, 2 man can't get through him. Now he's got some running room. Around the side he goes. He's got a wall. Look out. 25, 20. Cuts back to the 10, 5, and finally brought down at about the 4-yard line, where the Bearcats get a great return. They set the wall up very well, Ron.
But we are going to see flags, and this is coming back. There were multiple slobber knockers on this one, let me tell you. 22, and any time that you get that dip inside and it breaks to the outside, you're in trouble. There's one. Here comes another one. There's boom, 2 and 3. Anytime that you're able to get to the outside in a special teams play, there was a study done. 80% of all touchdowns that are made on a special teams play are outside the numbers. 80% outside. So everybody wants to get out there. It's a matter of how do I get outside the numbers. Typically those touchdown runs are not hash to hash. It's definitely outside. People want to get there, just a matter of how. If you can dip inside, set people up, and then be able to dip to the outside.
Personal foul called against both ball clubs. The offset. Now, here's the thing I've noticed, not just at the high school, but also in the college. You see not very many block punts anymore, Ron. Every so often, but the number of block punts I've seen has been reduced. It appears a lot. Is that accurate, or have you seen quite a few?
Well, no, actually, you're right. It has changed. Some of that is in the scheme itself. It used to be that everybody wanted to line up at the line and keep everybody at the line. Now everybody's kind of doing that V cut, that nice pocket protection for their punter. Very difficult to get to a guy if you've got a nice pocket, a nice wedge built.
So the Bearcats with great field position. So 2 penalties offset, and that's offsides. That'll be blown dead. So the good return sticks because of offsetting penalties.
Which, because the action or the infraction actually occurred after the whistle had blown. That's why it didn't come all the way back, and we took it down there on the 5-yard line. But boy, that guard sure does jump quick. When he's offsides a whole bunch. He's not just playing with it. Here's a great shot of it. Watch this. He gets out of there fast. That's called going early.
That's called offsides.
Yeah, but I tell you what, he comes out with a nice flat back.
Yes, he did. Bearcats hand off. First man through over the right side. Not much running room. That'll bring up second down now. Second and goal.
Starting to see a lot of different shirts come in from McKendree. Just trying to get some more people in the ball game.
Now, the interesting thing, I think, here, as you look down this Marian Knight roster, obviously tons and tons of freshmen. Where do you go recruiting from here? You spent all this time on all these freshmen, and now does the recruiting change just a little bit?
Well, now that you've got basically what you wanted, now that you've got your package, you're looking to fill in, you know what, here's what I'm going to need 3 years from now. He reverses it. You're looking at maybe what you need 3 years from now. Or maybe there's a gap where you think, you know what, I think this player is going to be just fine for us, but I need some depth. Now you're looking at next best.
Chris Daly on a nice play, and you sure wouldn't hurt to find a few real good quality athletes. It wouldn't hurt to always find a few of those. They can't do anything but help you.
Exactly. But as we all know, I mean, there's a lot of players on the roster today that 365 days from now may not be on that roster. You know, they may decide, you know what, either college isn't for me, maybe football, I need to invest more time in my study. You know, I want to get a great degree. So the picture will definitely change as to what they want to look for next year. But they've got such a tremendous base built with the roster that they have.
All kinds of pressure, puts it up, incomplete. Well covered that time by the Knight secondary. And what an investment for Marian College. What a great job. They've looked through the future and seen where they want to get to and what they want to do. They've got a fine coach. We've well documented that, and they're doing it right.
Well, and even with the players that you see on the field there, yes, they've done that the right way. They've done everything first class, though. It's not a matter of just bringing a bunch of guys in and throwing them on a field. It's a matter of taking the time to say, you know what, we want to have our home opener in a stadium like this. We want to be able to have tailgating. We want to be able to communicate this and market this piece of information, this incredible addition to the university, to all the alums. And they've done a great job with just the marketing strategy that they've used in the Marian community and outside of that, in the Indianapolis metro area, the number of people now that know about Marian College. And why? Because Marian College now has football.
Well, Marian College really has the football because they'll take over on downs with 3:30 left in this ball game. 39-7 our score. McKendree University ranked number 18th, and certainly I could walk away here saying that's well deserved. They're a very, very well coached ball club.
What a great look at that snap there.
Now more young players into the lineup for Marian. Once again, the next home football game for Marian is September the 22nd, right back here at Pike High School. The Val Praiseville comes to town.
Again, you'll see number 66, Devin Brown from Warren Central here in town. A lot of new numbers into the lineup. Trying to get everybody involved in the program. Wise decision on Coach Karras' part.
And call it 13. Coomer in some trouble, will run, cuts back inside, gets it over the 21.
And I know what Coomer's thinking. Okay, I started last week. I didn't start this week. I want my starting job back. So guess how well I'm going to play right now. I'm not in here to mop up or because it's a game where we're behind. No, Coomer's thinking I'm going to show something. I want my starting job back. Well, I got wheels too,
And that's the thing that you're going to have on this ball club is you got a lot of good competition in practice because everybody wants those spots.
And that will make you better.
Yeah.
When there's people who want to compete in practice and get better, because the next guy's going to take your spot.
Pass out in the flats, complete. Complete to number 87, Eric Duncan, and another Roncalli boy.
That time, Coomer is running to the sideline.
Hometown Sports, your proud sponsor tonight. Brought you the telecast from all our crew here at Hometown Sports. Absolutely Indiana's best sports station, high school, college, and pro.
You know, the pace of the game right now is picked up. Coomer sprints to the sideline. The linemen get up faster. When you're a number 2 or a number 3 and you're in the game, you're thinking, how many snaps of the football can I get in, coach? And so now all the guys are getting off the pile faster. They just want to get more snaps in. They're hungry.
127, of course, everyone knows this thing is being taped, and they want to make sure when they get seen on the tape by you coaches, they see something good.
The eye in the sky don't lie.
Oh, that one is picked off. It was thrown behind the receiver, and the Bearcats are going to get it back with 1:09 left in this ball game.
Boy, that's one that Coomer wants back. And sometimes, again, with young teams, with receivers and quarterbacks, you'll see the replay right here. Coomer drops back. He sets well, but it's either he thought the receiver was doing a sideline route, and the receiver does a curl route. Looked like there was just miscommunication because that ball looked like it was well placed if the right routes run. And so maybe there was just a miscommunication of what they thought was going to happen.
So the Bearcats will take over with 1:09 remaining in this ball game as the rain continues to fall. But we escaped the real nasty stuff we thought we might get. Here from Pike High School, beautiful, beautiful new facility. And the Bearcats will just take a knee and let that clock run down. Once again, want to thank Hometown Television, Hometown Sports for the production today in difficult conditions, but as always, an absolute super job. Ron, it's always good working with you, and good luck to the Eagles.
Thank you much, Jan. You know, it's been a pleasure. I enjoyed doing this game just out of respect and knowing what it's like to build a program, and now to come here and watch this first home game. This was equally exciting for me.
Well, this should be maybe the last snap of the ball game. And they take a knee, and that should just about do it here from Pike High School, and the very first home opener for the Marian Knights football program. They'll fall to a very, very good McKendree Bearcat football team, 39-7. Ron, your final words here today.
The future is bright for the Knights. It's not lights out, nights out. It's not that. The future is really bright, and these kids are going to stay with it. Coach Karras is going to keep these kids working hard. I'll tell you what, the future's bright.
All right, for Jan Bozier, Ron Qualls, and the whole Hometown Television production crew, from Pike High School, the final, the Bearcats 39 and the Marian Knights 7. So long from Pike High School.
$5 for a golf, $2